Welcome to Lanterns TV Talk.
Hello and welcome to Lanterns TV Talk. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Will, otherwise known as Can't Make Nothing Work.
This is a regular podcast showcasing and analyzing the upcoming Lanterns TV show from HBO Max, as well as taking a look at the mythos and stories surrounding DC Comics' Green Lantern. So without further ado, let's head on over to Guy's Bar.
And now we go to Guy Gardner's Bar Warriors. Have a drink and pull up a chair.
Really?
Water.
Dead air? You can't do that when we have the bump going?
No, I forgot about it midway through. Will, how you doing?
This is the best show we've never done. Okay. I'm all right, man. It's Monday. We were going to go yesterday, but I was not feeling well. So and then I started thinking about it. I'm like, it's summer, man. Like, Sundays are just going to become harder to schedule anyway. So I think we're, programming note, I think we're going to do Monday nights for a while. Because, hey, everybody should be home. We already have a guy. Vicar's in with us, or Vidar, not Vicar. Vicar is a priest. I'm not sure Vidar qualifies, but I'm going to let him have it. So, but yeah, we're just, it's cool, man. It's been all right. I got my new ring, so Guy Gardner's.
I got my ring.
Yeah, and it's on the right finger this time. Well done. Well done. A little behind the scene here. Let me pull back the curtain. We had a discussion. Kyle doesn't like his the AI image I use, so he's been trying to get better images. And we were talking. He sent me some pictures today, and he had the ring, and maybe I'll post them somewhere because they're great.
I'll post them on my Instagram.
Okay. But he had his ring on this finger. He had it on his ring finger. And I was like, okay. I wasn't going to say nothing. But I'm OG, man. I read Who's Who in 85, man. And it always said, it's like, the Green Lantern ring is always on the second finger of the right hand. Meaning, this finger right here. This one. This one. It's always on this one. It has to be on this one. So I've always worn it there. Like whenever I cut my ones up when I was a kid. And I've noticed the last two episodes, so go back and look. Yeah, Kyle's ring is it's on the wrong finger. It
just feels more comfortable, especially with like this kind of cheap one. It just feels more comfortable.
Hey, I got that ring. Actually, I've got two copies of that ring because one copy actually makes my lantern light up. So
nice.
I've got two. But
yeah, this was during the time that Blackest Night and Brightest Day was coming out. So comic book shops, you could buy them. The only ones I don't have are the Star Sapphire and Compassion.
I have all of them.
That one.
I managed to get them all. So
I've got the white, the black. I've got to me all the cool ones.
Yeah, see, I've got almost every one that's come out. That if I see it out, I try to get my hands on it.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is to get to the Hal as evil mode. So wearing all so it's like hello. Which So I mean, I bought all of these at one time or another. This was the first one I ever really got. Because this came out. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see it.
Nope, green screen.
Yeah.
Gonna have to put it in front of you.
Okay, yeah. This here, right here, this came out with Kyle taking over. So I have managed to keep this alive since 1993. Like, that was my first one. I mean, that thing went through college with me. Like, I'm still amazed at that. And then the rest of them, I just bought various times and I saw them. This one here will light up. It's a little duller. This one here lights up my lantern. So it came with the lantern, and yeah. So
do you have the movie one?
No, because that looked stupid. I do have the movie ring.
Yeah, the movie ring from 2011.
The movie ring from 2011. You mean this ring from 2011?
Yep, that one.
Yep. I got them all, man. And that's just it. Like, you could take a look. We could talk about this. Like, Kyle, they did kind of go similar. They definitely on the side of the rings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've got that etching, which I'm not a big fan of. But I don't wear the movie one because it's just small enough that where I can get it on my finger in the morning, but I ain't taking it off at night. So, yeah. Otherwise, it's been a pretty good, couple of weeks. I think it's been 3 weeks. Things are going well. My dad's coming, so that's another programming note. We've been on a 3-week rotation. This one's gonna be a little longer. Or it'll be a little shorter. We'll see how things go. But I know I'm not recording the 14th of July because I'm going to be at camp with my dad. My dad's coming into town Thursday. He's spending a good 2.5 weeks with my sister in Western New York. And then I go pick him up like July 6th, and then he's here until he leaves in like the middle of July. The middle of January. Okay. That'd be great. Yeah. So,
oh, man, I would love the middle of January now.
So, but it's cool. My dad... I got a cowboy hat, man. I should have worn that tonight. My dad plays country music, and I like country.
Okay.
So, to an extent, and I've always kind of wanted a good cowboy hat, so I got one of those because, I'll sit and play with him, and it's a thing for him because he grew up in a musical family. So, my uncles would, every time we had a family reunion, my dad and his brothers would just play for an entire weekend. So, every time he comes, it's like, no, Dad, we'll sit and play some guitar, and so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be nice to have that break. My dad, I've said it before, I'll say it again, he's my hero. Like, the guy is he's awesome. If you ever get to meet my old man, you'll understand. But what about you, Kyle? What's up with you?
I feel like nothing new has happened in the past 3 weeks. It literally has just been work.
Well, you learned what ring your ring goes on.
I learned what ring it's supposed to go on.
What finger, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I did get my backlog of comics from my comic book shop.
Yes.
And it was a lot, and I'm like, oh boy. But I'll talk like 2 minutes on Absolute Green Lantern.
Go for it.
For it.
Time.
It is such a different story.
It's horrible. I hate it. I've read it. I've been reading it. I don't like any of it.
So spoilers. Yeah. I guess we'll go for that. They kill off Guy Gardner.
I know.
They kill him off, or supposedly kill him off. Abed Sur is very different compared to his Earth Prime counterpart. So is John, so is Hal, so is Joe.
It's the problem I have with the Absolute Universe as a whole. I got to be honest with you. There are some people that dig Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman.
I dig Absolute Batman.
It all sucks too. It's like they're trying to do Marvel's Ultimate Universe, I think, but you're not doing it the way Marvel did it. Marvel kept enough of the old stuff to where but it was a new and interesting way to tell the stories, and it was like modernized. That's really it. They kept kind of the origins and stuff. They just modernized it. Instead of being in Vietnam, Tony Stark was in Iraq. It's like things of that nature. It's and DC just can't. But they've been wanting to do this for years. They had a big plan after Doomsday Clock. There was supposed to be it's how Dan Didio got fired. Thank God that guy or not Dan Didio. Was it Dan Didio? Yeah, I think so.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
A long time.
A long time.
But I love that you're still getting paper comics because here I can show you guys my iPad. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, there. So I downloaded this app called Kamga. It's running on my server, and I have copies of all the comics I've ever bought. So they're all running on a little server here that I can read on my imaginary that you can't see iPad, my invisible iPad, and I freaking love it. I've been reading. I just finished Green Lantern Volume 1 or Volume 2, which is the Hal years. Got through the Green Lantern Corps, and I'm just about to start Green Lantern Volume 3, which is when he had the white temples and all that. I'm like, I love it. It's been great for show research, like to be able to be like, okay, to refresh my memory on some stuff. But legit, man, I love that you're getting paper comics. I miss them, but
I mean, if you can,
I see.
People can look behind me. All of this whole thing, is all DC.
Okay.
It is
all what you buy.
It is literally, it goes in order continuity wise too.
But this year,
that's how it is.
This whole thing, You can't see. This whole thing is your entire bookshelf.
I know, but I like being like,
it.
hey, can I this? Oh yes, this is what happened. I can
see. So I'm trying to get it so the image shows up, but yeah, it's I get it though. I miss paper comics, but I also love the fact like I'm going to be traveling. Well, I can read anything I want. I don't have to worry about, do I want to bring this? And then you try to read slower because you want to have something to read in 4 days. But I could bang out a graphic novel in a couple hours. So
yeah, that's fair.
So, but
no,
yeah,
I get it. There's pros and cons to it. I mean, if I want to I'll just be like, okay.
Yeah, I just
take it with me.
I reach out. Yeah, it's kind of great. I love both. I see both sides. I love the fact that I don't have to give up. Like I've lost a lot of my print comics, like because I've moved a bunch of times. Mm-hmm. So being able to pull these stories back because they haven't put them into a reprint. They're not in. A lot of that old Silver Age stuff isn't in, in omnibus form or anything like that.
I think they are starting to redo that.
They are, but they aren't. Because here's the thing, and I can understand why. Some of that stuff is, believe it or not, it was a slog to get through the first 100 issues of Green Lantern until you get to like Green Lantern, Green Arrow years when Denny and Neil took over. Like, it was not easy. Like, it's not good storytelling. I imagine it was in the 60s. But, yeah, then from then on, it was solid. But between Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and when Len Wein and Dave Gibbons came in and took over Green Lantern, I think in like issue 171 or something like that, there's nothing. And Marv Wolfman was writing it. It was all the space stuff. Hal was he was exiled for a year, so which was actually about 30 issues. But like the Guardian said, you can't go to Earth because he basically disobeyed them, and they were like, you have to stay off Earth for 1 year. So, and Marv Wolfman wrote all that stuff.
Hey, you can't go home for a year.
Yeah.
You can't go back to the planet that you were birthed on.
You need to be in the rest of your sector, is what it was, because he wasn't focusing on that, which is something a lot of people talk about.
And that's fair. I mean, hell, look at the other Earth-based Green Lanterns.
Oh, the other 15 or 16 of them? Yeah. I mean, I'm tired of that. One of these, we'll talk about that during the comic week. I'm tired of the Earth-based.
Another thing I'll make this really short.
Go ahead.
Did read Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. I read all of it. Oh yeah, you didn't know about that?
I knew. I'm
okay.
I'm a little more discerning, I think, than you. Go on.
I love Godzilla. That's why.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not a Godzilla guy, so
there's only one Godzilla film that I'm missing to have them all physical, and that's Godzilla 1985. That's a different story. I went into that story being like, okay, it's gonna be cheesy, based on Earth Prime, but it's not, sort of thing, because they kill Guy Gardner in this one too.
Boy, they're trying to kill Guy Gardner. Yeah,
and it wasn't it was Gorilla Grodd. Gorilla Grodd kills Guy Gardner.
He's a dick.
but they have Simon. They have Jessica. They've got John. But they didn't have
Joe.
Kyle.
I like Joe.
They didn't have Joe either.
Oh, well,
or teenage girl, which I don't know.
Kid
she's
Lantern,
got like the back.
Call her,
yeah, she's got the.
She's got Hal's old
backpack.
gauntlet. She's got the gauntlet. Yeah. But
so they don't. Yeah. So that's my Green Lantern comics redo. I did see that an upcoming issue of Green Lantern is going to have Kyle's mask, like on the ground.
The next one.
Yeah,
which I'm always a month behind.
I'm interested in that one just to be like, what's going on?
I'm always a month behind. I think they're going to make him White Lantern again, but yeah, because I use DC Infinite, I do pay for that. So
yeah, you're 3 months.
No, I'm always a month.
Or 3
I
months?
pay the Ultra.
Oh, okay.
So I pay the $99 a year, and it's worth it to me because I get to keep up. And don't get me wrong, DC's kind of been. I did the same thing for Marvel last year. I think I'm gonna let my Marvel lapse. I'm not really feeling the X-Men these days like I was for a bit, and then
I have stopped. I did 12 issues of Uncanny X-Men, the
Yeah.
relaunch, and I'm like, I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Well, they
I
did the whole
stopped.
Krakoa thing, and I loved
Yep.
what they were doing with that, but it just, yeah. And I'm an X-Men guy. Like, I mean, Green Lantern's my thing, but X-Men's always been my number 2. I read X-Men right up until Joss left. Or till Grant took over. I came back when Joss came in. I left when Joss left, and I haven't really missed it. It was too... They've gone to... Again, we talked about this, I think. I have issues with when you take Professor X and the school out of the equation. I think the X-Men suffer. But, you know, I get that genie left the bottle some time ago. So, but yeah. But I guess, yeah, other than that, I mean, you got anything else going on?
No, not really. No. So in that case, let's get to the mission briefing.
All right, let's talk about it.
Now it's time for a mission briefing.
And now it's time for a mission briefing. So, we are reviewing Green Lantern First Flight. It is a 2009 cartoon. It was DC Direct. One of the earlier ones, actually, too. I thought it was like Wonder Woman, and then this came like almost right after when they started really going to town. And, you know, so it's pretty good. It was directed by Lauren Montgomery, who nobody knows except Mr. and Mrs. Montgomery. Written by Alan Burnett, who's written a bunch of stuff. Starring Christopher Meloni as Hal, Victor Garber as Sinestro, Tricia freaking Helfer, number 6. Oh. I'm going to need a minute. As Boudica. Michael Madsen, which I thought was genius castings as Kilowog. John Larroquette, which again, genius casting, as Tomar-Ray. And then Kurtwood Smith as... Was he Kanjar? He was Kanjar-Ro.
He was Kanjar-Ro.
Yeah. So, and then they had like a bunch of old like Hollywood actors as the Guardians. Like you got to look this up on IMDb. Like they had the dad from Gidget as one of the Guardians. Like I recognized his voice. Like just it was really kind of cool.
Like I know Larry Drake. I have seen him before.
Larry Drake is Dr. Giggles. Yes.
I'm sorry. What?
Dr. Giggles or L.A. Law, Darkman.
No.
I think he was Darkman 2. Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff. He did really good in L.A. Law in the 80s. He played a mentally handicapped dude. It's kind of where everybody kind of got him. I think I'm thinking the right guy. Huh? Now I got to IMDb that stuff. And I think he's dead now, isn't he? Yeah, he died in 2016.
Yep.
Yeah, he played Benny in L.A. Law. He was in Darkman. Okay. Yeah, he's cool. I always liked him. Yeah, they had pretty good casting here. But I'll read through the rundown. So basically it was an origin story for Hal animated. When pilot Hal Jordan accepts a mysterious, powerful ring from a dying alien creature, it transforms him into a Green Lantern. And that's with a pronoun or a noun Green Lantern, personal noun Green Lantern, and he wasn't made furniture. One of an elite force of heroes. That's horribly written. It transforms. I'm going to fix it. It transforms him into a member of the Green Lantern Corps. One of an elite force of heroes. That's a better sentence. These heroes patrol the universe to ensure peace and justice under the leadership of the Guardians of the Universe. Unsure of their newest recruit, the Guardians assign Hal to their most honored Green Lantern, Sinestro, for training. Unaware that Sinestro wants to overthrow the Guardians and create a new order he'll control. His name is Sinestro. I would have thought that was obvious. It's a battle of might and willpower as Hal must prove his worth by defeating Sinestro to save the Green Lantern Corps. Okay, so just so you guys know, Rotten Tomato on this 70%. We'll talk about it. But what did you think of First Flight?
I personally really enjoy this semi origin film because they do the origin like they do the origin like him getting the ring and then bam, we're thrown into space. We're off Earth right away.
That's what I liked about it. I actually liked the fact that he got that ring within like 5 minutes of the movie starting. Like he's in the simulator gets ripped up, gets the ring, and bam, the Corps shows up.
Yeah, I would have liked a little bit more time with Carol, but she wasn't the main focus of the movie, so it's understandable. I I like the additional lanterns that we get. We get Boudica, we get Chip, we get Kilowog, we get Tomare, and we get
Chip was in there. We got.
yeah, I said Chip.
Oh yeah, you did. I mean,
Yeah,
we
he's
got
even-
almost everybody. Salak was in the background.
Yeah,
Ki-
there's a bunch of lanterns that are there, but they're
Aricia
not.
had a. She was pretty out front and center.
That's the youngest recruit, right?
The elf-looking girl.
Yes, the one where in Emerald Knights, where Hal takes her under his wing,
Yes.
which makes this movie weirdly not connected.
Well, there's history there in the
And-
comics too. I just read Green Lantern
Yeah.
Corps, so we can talk about
but
that.
all-
But yeah,
All in all, the positives outweigh the negatives.
I agree.
Honestly, with this movie, it is a much better origin film than Green Lantern 2011. I don't know why they just didn't take a whole bunch of this and put that into the movie, but hey, it is what it is.
It's Ryan Reynolds. That's why it didn't happen
Yeah.
that way.
And I mean, you got a space cop voiced by a TV cop.
Yes.
How much more perfect could you get? Plus, Victor Garber, as we know, as we're very well versed with Victor Garber, the man who sunk the Titanic.
Yes. I thought you said a different word instead of sunk, and I was gonna be like, dude, that's not right.
No, he sunk the Titanic.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Oh, and he was Firestorm. That's right. He was
yes.
Firestorm. But
No,
yeah,
but
all in all,
well, I know him from Broadway, but that's that's what I was gonna do for a living. But yes, go on.
Yeah, no, it's one of those origin films that I can go back and rewatch and enjoy. I have little bits of problems with it, but it also came at a time where it was after Rebirth came out,
Right.
but it was also during
before
I think
War of Sinestro, I think. Oh no, he was wearing a Sinestro Corps uniform. It was after.
yeah. It was after, but it was I think before Blackest Night was because actually on the physical DVD
Right.
they do
That would
they
be a
do
Blu-ray.
talk about yes
Sorry.
it is a Blu-ray. It is a Blu-ray.
I'm just being pedantic at this point.
So this is my second copy of it. I had the DVD, which was a 2-disc from Best Buy, which came with a little
I
Sinestro
have the same
like
thing.
figure.
Wait, yes.
But as a special feature was behind the scenes of Blackest Night, the epic DC Comics superhero event in which the dead rise. So it was around the same time as
I got
Darkest
him
Night.
too.
Hey, there you go. See. So yeah. So I guess I'll go with a little bit of my gripes. Why wasn't it willpower, and why wasn't it fear? Why did they not
They
talk
used
about
fear
the
a lot.
emotional?
They did talk
Why
about
wasn't
fear.
it? But it wasn't emotional spectrum
Right.
talk. It was, hey, green element, yellow element.
Yeah.
It was
Well-
a very dumbed down. I say dumbed down version of the emotional spectrum and the willpower. They had nothing. They talked a little bit about Will, not you, Will, the other Will.
I get it. I know what you're saying, and I don't disagree per se, but I do. For me, I liked it. I did. I have problems with the pacing. I think the entire second act where they go and get Kush, that could have been avoided. I would have rather seen a training montage there than what they gave us.
I would have rather seen Kilowog also training with
Well,
them.
Kilowog brings it up though.
Next-
He's like, why is he training him and not me? Like,
Yeah.
I like that they did it. They addressed certain things. I know that they wanted to. I get the feeling what they wanted to do here was they wanted to kind of combine, Jeff Johns' version of the origin with Emerald Dawn 2, which has Sinestro training Hal. And I just read the originals, like I said, and in the originals, I mean, Hal had been a Green Lantern for some time before he goes to Kurigar and discovers that, he was not even a part of, Sinestro was already evil, I think, at that point. Like, Hal was not a part of the Green Lantern Corps when the Guardians found it. So it's all, I get it. And I kind of wish they had done what, I would have liked to. I don't think they needed the yellow element. I don't think they needed the whole Quardian thing. I think, and maybe this is because I'm looking at it from a 2022 or 2025 lens, but how much cooler would it have been if, because in the original Origin, Sinestro goes back to Korrigar and is an absolute fascist. Okay, like the reason his ring got taken away was he was scaring and bringing fear to his population, keeping them in line. That worked for me. This is what I like. Like I said, the Act 2 Kush storyline, and it went on far too long. Then where they have to go get Kanjar Row, and again, it felt like it was actually the same planet. It felt like a little rinse and repeat villain of the week that they're trying to do 2 villains of the week in a movie. It took too long to get going until the final act where Sinestro gets the ring, shows up with the yellow lantern that's not a lantern but apparently is a ball of some sort, and begins like blowing the hell out of Oa. I just think that it had problems storyline wise, and I understand. I think why they didn't want to steer into the sci-fi aspect of will and fear and stuff. That's a hard pill to swallow for a general audience. Now, if you're a Green Lantern fan and you're watching this, then you're going to roll with it. But if you're somebody who saw Jon Stewart in Justice League and Unlimited, and now you show up and all of a sudden they're dropping all this stuff on you, Jon Stewart's nowhere to be found, and I understand it. I think I understand why they didn't steer into that curve. I think it's also why Lanterns, the TV show, we'll talk about this during some of the news during the Book of Oa segment, that they're looking. A lot of people have been talking about the fact that this seems awfully earthbound, and Green Lantern's a cosmic hero. But
Vidir in the chat says, I think Green Lantern's Secret Origin would make a great live action miniseries on Max, and I very much agree.
I do too.
It does take a lot of Emerald Dawn 2 with the Sinestro training.
Well, an Emerald Dawn 2, and Sinestro. It's like, and by the way, put it in the chat, Vidar or Vidar or Vidar or like, how are we pronouncing this thing, man?
I'm saying Vidar until they tell us otherwise.
Is it? Watch, it's gonna be like Vidar. It's gonna be something like we're just way off. It's like the I is silent. It's Vidar. But yeah, I definitely want to see. I would have liked to see some other stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is probably the first time I ever watched this all the way through without like Rond Vidar. Okay. But we'd never heard it pronounced, so we may pronounce it differently. I'm going to say Vidar. All right.
Okay.
But as I was like, I think this is the first time I've watched this all the way through without falling asleep.
Really?
Yeah, that second, third act dragged. And again, it's because it's there's action sequences, but they don't really earn it. It's kind of like... Yeah, I really struggled with the pacing of this movie. Spoiler alert, I love the Boudica shift, and it's perfectly within her character if you know the character from the comics. Like, she's badass, and her, I don't think she would... Well, it's in character and it's not. She was one of the most loyal members of the Corps. Like, she could be a badass, but she could, she was pretty loyal to the point where she became an Alpha Lantern at some point.
Yeah, but that was after her resurrection.
Yeah.
Her resurrection, and they were cyborgs, if I remember correctly.
They were all part of the Manhunters. All the Lanterns that Hal killed. They all became and the one that was Major League resurrected, and not sure how, I love that they hand waved it, and I'm glad they undid it. Was Aricia. Aricia was not, they killed her and Guy Gardner Warrior because I forget why. There was a reason behind it. I think they didn't want Hal and her to be a couple, and they wanted to kind of break that up. And I mean, here's the thing, like, Boy, I reread Green Lantern Corps, and the post-crisis, issues 201 to 224. Yeah, the aging storyline doesn't hold anymore, and it's creepier than creep. And I mean, I'm glad Arishia's a grown-up now, but I'm also glad they kind of dialed that back a bit. Like, for a while there, they had to address it. They were like, she has gaps in her memory because she forced herself to grow up and become an adult. She has gaps in her memory. And then they realized that kind of makes Hal still a bit of a child molester. And, we might get kicked off YouTube for that. But, yeah, it's, but I love Arishia's.
Basically, Arishia's race.
Our Time Lords now, yes. I think she's back again. I think they killed her again, and I think she's going to come back again. But I love Arisia. I always
as long as she's not fridged, that's fine.
But yeah, it's just like I said, this was not bad. Like the cast is fantastic.
I really enjoy this voice cast, but I'm also like, how did you get these people to do this besides money?
Oh, it was always money. Well, first of all, some of them
money.
no doubt were under contract. I mean, Meloni.
Oh, yeah.
I think. No, Law and Order isn't a Warner Brothers project.
Law and Order is not Warner. It's
Universal, probably.
It's NBC Universal. Yeah. Victor Garber definitely wasn't.
I mean, I loved. I mean, here's the thing: Helfer was doing anything after Galactica she could. I get that. 100%.
This was even. Sure. No, this was probably about a year or so removed.
Yeah, I mean, she was fantastic, and and obviously, I love Larroquette. I love John Larroquette. He's always Dan Fielding to me. It was a problem I had with Night Court, the new one, because they had to make him kind of less Dan. Mm-hmm. And that is a show you cannot make now. Like, if you're a grown-up, go ahead and go watch some old school Night Court. And you're going to be amazed at what they got away with on network television in the 80s. And I mean, Fielding was a troublesome character for that. Like, he'd be Me Too'd right out of existence now. But I love Larroquette. I was waiting for Kurtwood Smith to talk about breaking his boot in someone's ass. I would have put my foot in your ass. I would have loved that. But
well, this is the second time he's shown up in space.
Yes.
I mean,
he
Star
showed
Trek
up
Voyager.
They used him in July, and they used him in Justice League. The second episode of Justice League, the original, he was the voice of the prosecutor when they had John on the planet.
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, Kurtwood Smith, because I watched RoboCop as a young teen, and the trauma that movie does in Murphy's death scene. Kurtwood Smith's voice is 100% ingrained into my subconscious. So even when he became Red, I was like, oh shit, is that guy? And now, I mean, I love that 70s show. I loved that 90s show that should not have been canceled. Kurtwood Smith is one of my faves. Like, yeah. So it was cool to see. They really had a good cast. I just wish the story could have been there. And yes, he's saying they had her thirsting on Soda Yacht for a hot minute. Yeah, I think they were more than thirsty. I think they got together as a couple because by that point Hal was with Cowgirl and then with Carol again, and just put him and Carol together for frack's sake. It's been 50 years now. Like, get over it. But yeah, like that was my thought. It was okay.
I would change how Sinestro's ring looks, but I think that all has to do with animation. They try to do stuff really on the fly, I'd say, because even for the Yellow Lantern as it is, it still
it's a ball.
It's a ball with the Green Lantern symbol, but they have the Sinestro Corps symbol on Sinestro.
Yeah, but nowhere else.
But nowhere else.
Not even nowhere else do they have it. Like, literally, what the hell is that supposed to be?
You see it a bunch of times in animation. They try to reuse a whole lot of things, but it's also like how. I mean, yes, it's small, but you guys can still do it.
I think they could have done a lot more with. I know what they wanted to do. They wanted to get.
I would have also liked Oa better.
Yeah, I wish. I don't like Dark Oa. They do Dark Oa a lot now. Oa's always at night and it's space and like the movie did it and all. Like, again, because I'm reading the comics, man, I loved bright shining Oa with daytime stuff and everything is yellow. I was always like, that's freaking brilliant. They're like, yeah, if you go renegade, you ain't killing us. Father Bucker, we're good. But I mean, I liked it. I would have liked it better. I liked Emerald Knights better. Like there's a companion to this. They did an anthology Blu-ray about a year and a half later called Emerald Knights, and it was just a bunch of small vignettes. It kind of let them explore the core a little bit. Yeah,
and it had Nathan Fillion voicing Hal Jordan. I think this was his first time voicing Hal. At that time, I think it was that, and
yes,
then
it was that
Doom.
Yeah, and then he became the voice of Hal for a long time. By the way, did I fix the sound issue?
That's fine.
Yeah, I think I fixed it. The original sound for musicians is now on. Zoom had me, so it actually like suppresses a lot of audio. So, but I have enough internet. All right, so I mean,
what do you? Oh,
in the ending, the whole premise was hard for me too, in that the Guardians are like, we don't trust the ring, so we're going to take it away from you. And it's like, no, that's not how that worked. They always trusted the ring. You know, they retconned it to Mojo, but even in the early days, they're like, well, if the ring chose him, like there's something there. Like we have to believe that the ring's AI can...
Well, that's the thing too. They created the rings, so they have to. They are the ones that choose that, not the Guardians, but the rings choose the ones that are worthy to overcome fear.
Yeah. So I mean, it
so
was just,
if anything, it's on them for doing it wrong.
To get, and I don't understand it. Why get Hal out of the Green Lantern ring and out of the costume if you're not paying for the special effects? It's animation. Who the hell cares? Like, keep him in the ring. I could see if it's like, well, you know, we make him humans.
I do like the costume design.
I did too.
This.
I thought I missed the white gloves. I do again.
The white gloves are always missed.
Yeah, and I understand why they don't do it. It kind of looks a little cheesy, but yeah, I liked it overall. It was okay. You know, it was not. I mean, they put a lot of things in there. You had ranks as a sentient city for a bit. You know, like it was kind of in there. His battery kind of looked like it. It's I get it, but it's the yellow battery just being a giant circle. Yeah. And here's the thing: I haven't seen a central power battery yet. I liked. I shouldn't say that. I liked Justice League's. Was the most. I liked the comic accurate one. It's a big freaking version of the one they hold. You know, it's like, why in the world are we? And like, I thought the one in this was way too small. Like Hal walks up to it, and like he's about 3/4 of its height. I'm like, this thing is supposed to be like
huge.
Ominous, and it just. And again, why not? You're animated. Like, why not do it? You know, did we see? I mean, we saw the central battery but in the movie in 2011, it was also like not. It was okay. I want I love the central battery.
We see the personal battery, which we don't see the personal battery in this film. We see it on the DVD cover, not this one, but on the basic one we see him. But other than that, we don't see it at all. Which
I get it, and
it
that's
confuses
tough.
me.
Well, especially when, again, I hate to be like, you know, reading the Silver Age and stuff. Like, you can tell the writers had an edict. They're like, every issue, Hal's charging the ring and doing his oath. Like, every single issue, he's charging that ring. And, yeah, to not do it here just kind of seemed... Yeah, there were issues, but it was overall, it was better than Ryan Reynolds.
But, So in that case, how would you rank it? 1 out of 10 lanterns.
Well, what did I say? What did we say that it was 7.0?
Rotten Tomato audience score gave it a 70%.
So 7 out of 10.
I think critics gave it like a 60, 69. So it was very, very close.
I think 75. I think it's 3/4 of the way there. Like I said, I think you can cut out. I think you can cut out where he goes to Oa and gets assigned to Sinestro. Cut there and pick back up right around Kanjuro, where Kanjuro starts getting away. So make it look like he's chasing Kanjuro. You give up about 30 or 40 minutes there of nothing. nothing you require. Like, and I understand they're trying to make a procedural out of it. They're like, hey, we're following the clues and we're doing. It's a cartoon. Like, I get it. I love the fact that people died. I think that was great. I think the fact that they killed some lanterns, I'm all for it. Like, let's do this.
They killed a lot of lanterns, especially the ones in space.
Yeah. Like, yeah, they just made them like, their batteries died and they explosive decompression for the win. But so yeah, I'm gonna stick it with it. I'm gonna say the 7.75, 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. What do you got?
Yeah, I'd say 7. I'd say 7 lanterns as well. I think it's the minor things that they can improve on, that they could have improved on, but all in all, I still enjoy this movie way better than 2011.
Will you go watch Emerald Knights?
I'll rewatch it. Yeah. It's been some time.
I don't think we're going to review it here, right? We're thinking next episode might be Superman.
Next episode, I mean, we'll re-talk about it, but it'll be Superman, and then
probably. I think you're right. I think we got to do New Frontier.
New Frontier.
I do want to do a complete episode of JL and JLU, because there's so much Green Lantern in that. That means we're going to have to. What I think you and I will do is.
Well, speaking of that, on the DVD, on the Blu-ray special features, they do have 4 episodes plus the Looney Tunes episode where
Duck
Dodgers becomes a Green Lantern. 2 of the episodes were Once and Future King, where the first animated or the first Bruce Timm animated Hal Jordan shows up.
Right.
And then I forget the other 2. They didn't
Did they do the Amazo one? Because the Amazo one had all the core, and it brought back Kyle.
They did not, because of Kyle.
Okay. Yeah.
I would have loved to.
So
we could pick out episodes.
Well, you know what? We'll pick some out. And here's the thing: if you're listening to this podcast, if you're listening to watching the stream later, hopefully Opus makes this a thing. Let us know either in the comments are tough for us to get. Email us. And podcast at lanternstevtalk.com. Let us know, or come to our Discord and let us know what episodes you think we should cover. We'll choose like 6. That'll be good, like 2 hours. 6 episodes of Justice League Unlimited. We're gonna stick kind of in there. We could do the Superman episode maybe, but I kind of want to do some John time. I want to do that before we get. I want to do those before we do Beware My Power, where we're just gonna shit on it.
That's fine.
Yeah, and then I do still want to get a comic episode in. But yeah, I think that so next week is going to be Green. Yeah, hey, I'm going wearing this, by the way. I have my ticket. I'm going the 10th. I'm actually going the night before. They have a showing on the 10th. I was going to do that, but I have Regal Bucks, and I want to take my dad.
That's fine. It's my 2 friends.
Yep. My dad took me in '78 to my first Superman movie. Like it's one of those things I can remember. Like, it's the first time I can remember my dad. Like, I saw every Star Wars I saw in the theater. I did not see Star Wars opening weekend in '77. I was 4. But I did see it in the theater before it went out because they used to stay longer. '78 was the first one I remember my old man taking me, like, opening weekend. Like, we waited in line. He's like, I want to see this too. We're going to go see this together. And it was a thing. So I called him and I said, Dad, listen, when you're here, don't make plans for the 10th. I was like, you and I, we're going to go and watch Superman, and we're going to go to the theater, and I'm taking you to see Superman. So I'm excited for that. But yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be our next episode. But yeah, let's what's next there, sir?
Let's open the Book of Oa and talk about.
It's time to read the Book of Oa.
All right, so there's not much news.
There's been a bit, but yeah, it's kind of
we're in the
they don't want to release
period.
too much. Well, here's what it is, and I did hear this. They don't want to release too much because I guess there's things in Superman. So they're being real dodgy and cagey with the Gardner stuff. That's why you haven't seen too much about Peacemaker either. Like, Gunn is really trying to hold a lot. Stuff's going to happen in Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand that.
What we do know is that filming for Lanterns looks to be done in July.
Sweet.
And then
it's
they'll go on.
Yeah.
Then they'll go on to post-production, reshoots, all that good stuff.
Sweet.
Then,
So Kyle Chandler's Parallax already. Got it. No. God, I hope not. Dear God, no.
I hope not. But the director did get interviewed recently.
One of the
He
directors,
did,
yeah.
one of the directors, but he said he couldn't talk much, but he is very much looking forward to having this out on the screen, and that the biggest takeaway is that they're going to be a balance of cosmic and Earth-based
Yes.
scenes.
So, I mean, I read that same article. Like, one of the things he talks about, I'm a little concerned. It's he says it's a combination. He's like, for Hawes, it really came down to the pedigree of the writing staff and a desire to stretch himself a bit. Why he just decided to direct 2 episodes of the series. So they were talking to James Hawes, and he said it's a combination because it's not my normal sandpit, really, to go off and play in that area. But the writing, Chris Mundy, Damon Lindelof. They've done things like Ozark and True Detective. So the scripts have got such wit, so much character. It's like a buddy cop movie played out, and I've talked about this in the sort of True Detective, Fargo, No Country for Old Men, naturalistic. It's a buddy cop movie, and then somebody flies. Okay. And it's a TV show. I get, like, flight and constructs.
It's that HBO money.
Yeah, but flight and constructs, I get, you can't be crazy.
No.
Yeah, and I'm glad. It was not just him, though, too. Who was it? James Gunn in an interview. He said, now listen, we said it's True Detective and it's grounded. He's like, but it's Green Lantern. They're going to space. Like, he's like, he pretty much was like, which I want to see. Like, I mean, that was kind of concerning to me too in some regards. Here's the thing. I don't mind Earth-based GL. I really don't. I like the core. I like the aliens. I like those stories. I like the cosmic stories. But if you steer too much into cosmic, then we turn into how soon until we get to the fourth war or to the fourth world. And then now we're dealing with Darkseid and all that crap and all the trouble that comes with that from the previous guy, from Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I get wanting to play in that sandbox with the fourth world and stuff. But one of the worst crossovers they did in the last 10 years was when they brought the fourth world into Green Lantern comics. I forget, what was it?
It was Green Lantern New Gods?
Yeah, Green Lantern New Gods. Like, they were putting them together, and it didn't fire right.
I want to read that because it is New Gods.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a little bad.
But I also want to read Omega Men with Kyle. On there.
Here's the thing, and I didn't realize this. Omega Men was created in Green Lantern by Marv Wolfman when he wrote that's why I'm surprised they haven't reprinted like that era. Like that stuff, that was good stuff. I mean, it was Wolfman. He wrote Tom was totally miscast. Carol was there were troubles. It felt like reading, because he was also at the time writing New Teen Titans, which he was far better at, by the way.
Godhead. It's Vidar says it's Godhead, and it's slowly paced.
Yes, it's very slowly paced. And again, I don't think they understood what they wanted to do with the New Gods. I don't think I don't think they still figured it out. Grant Morrison really screwed them with Final Crisis. So I get it. Like,
I mean, New 52 screwed everyone.
Yeah. So, but I think, when he ends that interview with me, he's talking about Cosmic. He's like, I'm going to talk very obliquely about, because there are excitements to come. It won't disappoint the classic fans. It will if you make him Parallax. I cannot stress this enough. But
it'll upset the newer fans as well, because we want time with Hal.
Yes.
Yes, a lot of us did grow up with John.
They need John, and I like John, and I want Hal and John together. I do like, also, I did see this, James Gunn on a DC podcast, no less. Somebody was asking about, like, newer characters, and they gave, like, a list, and on the litany of list was Kyle Rayner. He's like, well, out of the three, Kyle's like, it was Kyle Rayner, Constantine, and one other. And he's like, well, out of the three, Kyle's, like, the one I really, just never really did it. I'm like, all right, maybe he won't do Parallax. Dear God, don't do Parallax. But
that hurts me a little bit, because he's one of my favorites. So
they didn't understand the new Genesis gods in the story. You're not wrong, Vidar. I think I think they're going to do Parallax. I don't think they'll introduce Kyle. I think it would be foolish if they make John train another Lantern. Like, please don't bring up, Simon or Joe or.
If anything, Jessica, I could see them do Jessica.
Maybe I would actually, yeah, because I guess Guy Gardner's going to be in a bunch of it. So I would actually rather see them have him do Aricia. Bring Aricia to Earth. That'd be because that's the thing. Like Aricia works because she's 2815. She's in the next sector. Like 2813 is Tomar Ray or Tomar 2, depending on when you read the books, and Aricia was 2815. So I am hopeful for this. I mean, we're obviously hopeful. We're doing a podcast about it, but yeah. Overall, I mean, that's kind of the news. Like I said, they're keeping a lot of things close to the vest because of Superman. So I think Guy Gardner's going to play a bigger role than we think.
Yeah.
Which I'm all for. Like, I want to see a real good Green Lantern. I mean, like I said, this is the ring I'm wearing to. So wait a second, you saw the rings in Hot Topic yesterday and you didn't buy one?
I have not been in a Hot Topic in quite a bit. It was a picture someone took. It's
DC
like
shop,
the
dude.
one.
DC
it's
shop.
like the one that you were wearing. It's like a necklace too.
Oh.
I don't think I would.
I don't know
buy
how
it.
they would fare.
Exactly. I don't think it's going to be fit well. Kind of like this, where it doesn't fit well.
Vidar, I'm about to lose you, I think, as a viewer, because Badge is okay, but give me Chip, man. I'm Chip. Give me Chip. I want Chip. But yeah, Badge is all right. I like my raccoons, but Chip, man. But yeah, I'm looking
those
forward.
Those Hot Topic rings
are they super tiny? I figured they would be. This is why I got this. I ordered DC Shop, and I don't know if they still have any left. I ordered a size 12 because I know my middle ring size. So, and it's a little tight, but I'll wear it the day. It's not my daily wear. My daily wear is still, I don't know where my daily wear went. Oh, here it is. My daily wear is right here. Like I wear this everywhere. So, because it's just enough to wear a Green Lantern fan. It's people are like, oh, I like the ring. I like the ring. But if you don't know Green Lantern, I don't look like a complete dork.
Yeah, I look like a complete dork.
Yeah. Like, I've seen some of the ones out there. Like, people are selling some ones with anodized. They're all green. They look like they should from the comics and stuff. And I'm like, I couldn't pull that off. I'm 51 years old. This I can pull off. Like, honestly, it kind of looks like the phi symbol from Greek. I could be like, one time, it was just after my ex-wife and I had split. I'm in a bar and I'm wearing this because she hated me wearing it, so I wear it all the time now, and because and she's like, oh, what is that? And I'm totally moking on her, so I'm like, oh, this I was in a fraternity. It's the phi symbol. She's like, really? Which one? I was like, and we actually had one of these at my college. Not that I was, so I was like, sci-fi. I mean, I didn't get to go home with her anyway, but it's just always still a funny story. She's like, wow, that's kind of cool.
Vidar got his also from DC Shop, but it looks like they're all sold out now.
So you're going to have to Amazon that. You got, you got to get you a better, you know what? That's the thing. When we monetize, and it'll come, there'll be a Patreon. When I get to Patreon, I'm going to set up a Kyle ring fund. Because I've got all these rings. I do not require more rings. I have 8 Green Lantern rings alone. I could stand to get 2 more for the thumbs. Then I can be like.
Then you can be like.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, I would definitely. I might do a Kyle ring fund, man.
It's okay. I don't need it. It could be used for this.
I mean, even this, like I said, even these look kind of cool. Like the movie ones were cool. They were put together pretty well. I had to, you can't tell, I have very acidic skin. So I actually, on the inside, you can't see it. I actually had to like clear nail polish.
I could just, Vidir's like, I could just make you one.
Ooh.
I may commission also my friend.
Okay.
To do it, but
I want a new lantern. I do know that. I kind of want Kyle's lantern. Like I'm, and
I
there's
like
a guy
Kyle's
on
lantern,
there's a guy on a few of the
which-
discords we're on. I want.
Yep, I've
What's that?
one from McFarlane for the Blackest Night line.
Yeah.
They do have Kyle's. Kyle does come with his lantern, and I
No,
really like
I
that
get
lantern.
that. I want like the life size. Like I want to put it next to
Yeah.
I'll go off screen.
So what you will get the life size version of the lantern like you have in your hand right now.
Yes, that you cannot see.
Vidir does metal casting. Oh,
shit.
that is actually damn cool.
That is cool. And I would turn off my background, but here's the thing: there's a bed behind me. It ain't made. There's shit all over the place. I'm not. But yes, I love my lantern. I want the Kyle version.
Mm-hmm.
I love this one. I love that it has both. You guys just can't see it. It has both the ends on it. Because for a while there they only had one side. It was.
Vidir's like, oh, dude, I got like 3 of Kyle's lanterns. That's
Something to talk about.
all right. So let's move.
We'll
Let's
discuss that.
close.
What
let's close
if
the
we?
Book of Oa.
Okay. Well, wait. What if you could sponsor us, sir? Send each of us a lantern, and we will advertise your lanterns on our show. See what I did there? Oh, dude, we're good. Oh, but you're in charge. What were we doing now?
So let's close the Book of Oa and let's move on over to the JLA signaling device.
Time to read mail with the Justice League signal device.
We don't have any. You guys suck.
Okay, that's fine.
No mail. I don't even think we have. I think there's comments in YouTube. I just couldn't find them. Well, we have tons here. In fact, we'll read the comments from our latest video. Vidar said, "Greetings. How are you guys doing?"
And we thank you, Vidar, for being here.
Yes, thanks for hanging with us, Vidar. I hope you're having fun. All custom made. All right, seriously, dude, I will freaking feature you. Like, you and I could talk. I'll get a PO box, man. I could do this. You gotta get you a PO box. Yeah, get. Hey, you know what? This is good. We do this for nothing.
I know.
But
all
yeah,
right, so
there were some
comments.
There were comments.
There's comments.
I think on some of the shorts let me see here. Hold on. Oh, there were some comments on. Yes, there's a comment on the TV Talk Ryan Reynolds video. Oh, okay. Somebody said Bill Burr. I think we were talking about how Ryan Reynolds, was a bad choice. Somebody said
Bill Burr would have been
you said it was Ryan Reynolds for Guy Gardner.
Yes.
And somebody said Bill Burr for Guy Gardner. I'm like, oh hell yes.
I don't know if I see that.
It's the frat humor, because Guy is not snarky. He's frat boy douchebag.
Yeah.
All right, and Bill Burr is kind of frat boy douchebag, but he's also 50, so it's a little awkward.
Well, so is Nathan Fillion. He's 50 too.
But Nathan Fillion, it's going to be interesting to see how he does, because there's a swagger to Guy. Like I said, he's frat boy, and he could churn it off. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. Like the Guy Gardner of the 80s and the Guy Gardner of today are two different characters, really, because Guy, there are scenes where Guy's getting tortured and he's being an absolute dick, but he's not giving it up, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely, I like the Bill Burr. I'm on the Discord. Very good. So yeah, I definitely, I like Bill Burr. I like that type. It has to be that type of frat boy humor. Jensen Ackles was one I hadn't thought of.
I could see that.
He could pull that. He could pull that kind of. There's a moral code to me, but I'm kind of a nozzle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's definitely. I mean, Nathan Fillion, I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad he gets to play Green Lantern on the screen.
Yes.
Dennis Leary. From 10 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, actually, Dennis Leary is that's a good pull.
I'd say even around Rescue Me time.
Yeah, 10, 15 years ago, yeah.
I
mean, if I was going to go now, the guy who plays Tig in Sons of Anarchy could kind of pull that off, because that character's kind of Guy Gardner. What is it, Kim Coates?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. But we have Nathan Fillion.
We have Nathan Fillion. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a line in, I think, the newest trailer is like between him and Soups, and he just goes, "Make a move, Big Blue."
And that's 100% him. Here's the thing. Somebody pointed it out, too. Guy Gardner getting one-punched by Superman and knocked out, the one punch from Batman is the key. Like if you're gonna if they're gonna try to pull that Justice League International #1, which was actually just called Justice League then, and I mean it's fantastic. If you've never read that part, go find that book. It's been reprinted everywhere. It starts with Guy Gardner sitting in the mountain headquarters of the jail, and he's like, "I'm gonna be the leader," and he's in darkness, and they all show up. Batman starts to get the meeting in order. He's like, "Who says you're in charge?" And Guy stands right up to him, and then immediately he's like, "Oh, don't worry, Batman." He's like, "You're all barking, no bite, Gardner." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, Bats, I bite." And the next panel, you turn the page, the next panel, you just see a blue fist hit Guy Gardner dead in the nose, knocks him right out. And Black Canary comes in. She's like, "What did I miss?" Oh, I don't think it was issue 1. It might have been a later issue because they all knew Guy at that point. But Black Canary, she's like, "What I miss?" And Beetle's like, "You should have seen it. Batman knocked him out one punch." One punch? And I missed it? One punch? And the rest of the issue, she's just literally saying, "One punch." Yeah, I think it was issue 4, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. But still, great stuff. Read the Justice League. If you want Guy Gardner, that's where they kind of got his character. Was Justice League and then
International.
Yeah, Justice League International. I think it's billed as Justice League International, even though it's tough because I remember buying 1 through 6, which are Justice League.
It's
billed as JLI.
As a whole,
yeah,
it's
JLI.
billed as JLI, but at first it was
just Justice
League.
Yep, and because they didn't want it to be associated with America after Legends and stuff, and it was such an interesting Justice League too because they didn't want to do like. The Detroit Justice League was horrible, which it wasn't, but it was weird. And they didn't want to do the Big 7. So they kind of grabbed a bunch of characters that they featured in Crisis that had no books of their own. So that's why you got Guy Gardner, Blue Beetle, Black Canary.
Booster Gold!
Booster Gold doesn't come until issue 4, but Booster Gold. Hoshi's Dr. Light. You know, they've got Dr. Fate and Captain Marvel, which hadn't been in any team book. So it was... And Mr. Miracle of all things. Those were good times, man.
Give me more of Scott Free.
I love Scott Free. I like Shiloh too, but give me I'm old school. Okay, no, it's not about Scott Free. Give me Big Barda.
Yeah, well,
I always had a thing for Barda.
Have them both.
It's Barda.
Detroit Justice League. Shudder.
I get that. Here's the thing. Go back and reread it. I get what they were doing with it. They wanted to try.
It was like West Coast Avengers.
It was trying to recapture the Teen Titans. They wanted to skew younger. And because Marv and the Titans were doing so well, so they grabbed all these characters that were young. And I think the only one that survived, quote unquote, and is still relevant today would be Vixen. Everybody else has gone way to the back. And yeah, I liked it. I didn't mind it. It struggled. The best part about it was Ralph and Sue, because Ellen Gator Man, and it's where you got a lot of Sue, and that's why when they killed her in what do you call it?
Identity Crisis.
Yeah. So.
Oof.
Yeah, Identity Crisis was, because killing her was hard, and then what happened after, that was a tough read. But yeah. But I get it. It's overall though. That's our mailbag, guys. Please. Send us mail, send us comments, send us reviews. Dear God, go put reviews in.
Well, before we take the oath,
we haven't played our bumper.
Oh, I thought there wasn't. Go ahead.
Okay. So. Yeah. Oh, is that the ending? What is that? Back. Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Oh, so Book of Oa, JLAC device. Do I not have one for the oath?
Nope. I think I just go right into.
Oh, so yeah, just go right into it then. Yeah.
Right. This is where we'll cut
Yes.
All right. Before we take the oath, we want to remind you how to find us while we're out and about in the sectors. You can join our conversation on our Discord.
Do you want to take
Open
that
your
again?
browser. Yes. For some odd reason. Before we take the oath, we want to remind you how to find us while we're out and about in the sectors. You can join our conversation on our Discord. Open your browser, discord.lanternstvtalk, and join the discussions.
Let's take it again.
As we
Don't forget the .com. Take
Son of
3.
a monkeys. I can read, people. I swear I can read. Before we take the oath, we want to remind you how. Oh my God! Take 4. Oh,
Too much blood in your alcohol system.
Yep. Before we take the oath, we want to remind you how to find us while we're out and about in the sectors. You can join our conversation on our Discord. Just open your browser to discord.lanternstvtalk.com and join the discussions there. And as we said earlier, you can also email us at podcast@lanternstvtalk.com.
And you can find me streaming on Twitch occasionally, not as often these days, but from time to time. Games like Marble Snap, well, probably not as much. If you're a Marble Snap fan, you know why. Star Wars Galaxies, and even Fancraft, the Minecraft SMP server that we like to talk about, and Kyle never comes in. But we're in there with TV Talk people, so I just built Galactus. You can check that out, twitch.tv/oldmangamerny.
You can follow me on Instagram and basically anywhere at Kyle Krause89. And you can also listen to me on the Atomic Geekdom podcast, which we just restarted up.
Sweet.
So look for that. Look for that episode coming out shortly.
Good. You guys should have that. Along with some other sources, the primary music for our show is provided by our good friend Charlie Bach. Charlie, you did send me new music. I'm going to listen to it. I haven't had a chance yet. You can find more of his music, though, at soundcloud.com/Charlie Bach.
So for Will, this is Kyle saying, we'll see you next time as we review Superman. I got to think of a new ending.
Yeah, we need
for this.
Need like a catchphrase.
Yeah. I'll pull it. But until next time.
Mean, you know what? Here's the thing. Why don't we do this? Yeah, we can pull it, but you should make something. And then you say the
oath?
Okay, you know what? Just do it. Don't worry about that. So for Will, this is Kyle saying we'll see you next time as we review Superman 2025. Do we want to put the date in there of what we're looking at? We're not sure yet. So check our dates are going to be, yeah. All right, take it again.
All right. So for Will, this is Kyle saying we'll see you next time as we review Superman 2025.
And you stay classy, planet Earth.
And you stay classy, planet Earth.
Day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might